Okay, so it looks like we're back. It looks like my microphone is working now, and for whatever reason, when I went off and turned on some other games, it was not letting me talk while the music was playing. So I don't really know what the heck is up with that. I've it's been a while since I've streamed like this. I'll go back in and add voice dialogue to the gameplay footage that I did playing Sonic and Hokuto no Ken and a little bit of Symphony of the Night that I played. But when I went back and tried to play, I played the replay, and the second I turned on RetroArch, the microphone went away. So I don't really know why that's happening. So John, how you doing, brother? Um, yeah, so I'm trying to get I'm trying to get Prism's screen sharing to work on the iPhone 16. And at this screen I seem to be fine, but once I start playing video games, which is the whole point of the stream, yeah, it seems like my voice goes away, so we don't want that. At any point in the stream, my voice does go away. Let me know. I'm not going to stream much longer because, it's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. So, but I guess nothing ventured, nothing gained for, experimenting here. So here it says mic on. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's acting like this. Save video after streaming, front flipping camera. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I wonder if I navigate away from this, if it's going to turn the microphone off. Let's do a little experiment here. Bear with me, people. All right. Well, I'm still here. So that's something. Okay. um, Let me, I wonder why starting like RetroArch would do that. Now the microphone's still working here. How's my job going? My job is going fine. I'm just hoping the kids stay good for another month. I'm a little bit behind on my schoolwork, so I got to kind of put the pedal to the metal in terms of getting my classwork and stuff done. Yeah, dude, I don't know. The device volume's low, the microphone is high. So why is it doing this? I'm gonna try starting a game. You can't hear me now. It looks like I'm talking on my device. I am talking. So I don't know, man. But like me looking at the screen, it looks like the microphone is working here. So I mean, I don't know. It's easier just to film me in the game room, and that's fun. But I do like the idea of being able to screen share and play RetroArch on the phone sometimes. So that's why I'm trying to do this. So I'll have to go back in and I'll try to edit some of this stuff so it works better, it looks better, the replay value is better. Before you opened up a game, I could hear you. So you can't hear me now? All right. Well, let's let's do a little experiment here. I'm gonna open up a game, and we'll see if it works. And if it does, cool. If it doesn't, we'll just wrap up the stream and call this an experiment right here, I guess. So, crap. All right, well, let's start a game here and see how it goes here. I'm just looking here. It says microphone on, so I don't know. Let's see. All right, well, we'll see if this works at all here. You heard me for a split second. I faintly hear the rings. Oh, okay? I'm audible. You can hear me? So, Arrow, you can hear me okay? So, I don't know what the problem there was, but it looks like you can hear me now. Okay, there we go. Well, I'll try to stream a little bit longer here. We'll just stick with RetroArch. Man, I'm not good at shmups here. I really need to get a controller here. So, Arrow, can you hear me? Is John saying he can't hear me? So, if John can't hear me, I think it's just going to be something on his end. But if you guys can hear me, that's all good. So, but if Arrow can hear me, that's if one person can hear me, that's a good sign. So, okay, let's play something else here. Let's play some Radical Dreamers. Maybe I'm hallucinating, but maybe you're hallucinating my voice. There we go. All right, let's play some Radical Dreamers here. This is a visual novel that should be pretty easy to play. All right. So this right here is the sequel to Chrono Trigger, the haunting game that was based on the horror visual novels of the time, and they decided to make one for the Saddle of You, and here it is. I always really liked Radical Dreamers. I had no idea it existed until 2003. And when I found out about it, I was like really surprised because I had Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger, and I liked them both a lot. And the fact that there was just a totally different Chrono game I had never heard of was pretty shocking. So can you still hear me? Let's put that in the chat here. I really should do a new review of Radical Dreamers for the channel. I do have a brief one that I am going to keep up. I did it at the old house, but it was a very early review. You can hear me talking about Radical Dreamers. That's good. Excellent stuff. Yeah, Radical Dreamers, quality game. Normally, when I play visual novels, I start to get tired and fall asleep. So hopefully that's not the case here. Look at all that parallax scrolling right there. There's the clouds right there. Kid, I know you're anxious, but stay on your toes. Yeah, likewise, mate. Mess up and I'm leaving you behind. Can you hear me on I'm on mobile. I still don't have a good PC. So the reason I started doing this is because I wanted to test out the screen sharing on the new iPhone. So see how it worked. Test out some of these ROMs that I just got for RetroArch. I still haven't played the original, not original, the official Radical Dreamers that they put in with the Chrono Cross remake. Kid's braids swayed gently from side to side. We should also play Metal Slater Glory on a stream too. Like I think it would be best like if I'm playing visual novels to, this kind of stream for visual novels would be good because I just have to like read and narrate and just push buttons. There's not a lot of, not a lot of stuff I have to worry about, and I can stay close to the microphone and whatnot. Well, anyway, here we see Kid and Serge and Magill, known as Magus, just getting ready to break into the castle here where the villainous Lynx is staying, and Kid is a thief, of course. Not even 17 years old. She's already a renowned as a top professional. And to make matters worse, she's cute, devilishly stylish, and has a sparkling personality. And boy, can she cook, if you ask her, that is. Well, to be completely honest, she has her share of problems as well. She likes to think of herself as Robin Hood, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, but that's simply not the case. Her sharp tongue can get the best of her, viciously lashing out at anyone who stands in her way. She exaggerates every other word and sometimes just lies outright. Noel, I feel you might be better off with a laptop instead of a PC since you need mobility a lot. Yeah, I hear you. I did have some laptops and, they, Santino broke one and the others just kind of stopped working. When it comes to money, I've never met anyone greedier in my life. Her relentless pursuit of wealth is ironic considering she's a nomad like me. I don't know, maybe I'm being too hard on her. She has her good points too. She can really shine sometimes when she wants to. Might as well get a refurbished gaming laptop and call it a day. That's actually a really good idea. What do you recommend? eBay? Glancing back over my shoulder, I noticed a silhouette emerging from the grave. Or no, from the grove. But it could be from the grave. This game's pretty creepy. Magill. The associate of Kid is known to us as Magill of the Shadows. I know next to nothing about him except for the fact that he somehow knew Kid before I came into the picture. High-class magician of sorts. He looks like he's about 30. Usually keeps to himself, though. So how old is Magus and Chrono Trigger? Although, I mean, I guess if he's kind of like, uh, you know, am I still playing Sonic? No, I'm playing Radical Dreamers. Um, I guess if he's like a vampire, not a vampire, but I guess, maybe his whatever he is ages slowly. I guess that makes sense. The top half of his face is covered in a mask. I've never seen what he really looks like. Times like this, it's hanging around with someone from another world. Traveling with this pack is definitely an experience. Kid's quiet about her past too, but it's like I know her entire life story compared to how little I know about Magil. From time to time, I find myself wondering who he is, where he came from, and so on. I'd ask Kid, but I get the impression she knows as much as I do. You may be wondering, how did I end up here? Well, there's a lot of reasons, I suppose. I guess you could say that life doesn't always go how you plan. Suddenly, Kid comes to an abrupt stop. It seems someone wants to say hello. Out of a nearby thicket, two shimmering eyes catch my attention. Whatever it is, it's staring at me silently. After a few moments, a few more pairs of eyes appear. They seem to be surveying the area. It's Feral Cats, which is also the name of my early 90s R&B band. Magus, when you fight him, or Magus when he was a kid from Zeal. No, he's an adult here, so, like, so this is definitely after Chrono Trigger. So, yeah, I mean, so when he's, like, got his whole crew of monsters and stuff, he's definitely, probably plateaued in terms of his aging, is my theory here. A few figures slowly approach from behind the trees. I look behind me, only to see they've already encircled us. A few more slowly creep in, now totaling about 10. Chills run down my spine. In a daze, I clumsily unsheath my knife, grasping it tightly as I bite my lip. Kid stands ready with an air of composure. Careful, mate. These buggers are probably rabid. Since that's about 17 years later, assuming Kid is a baby that Luca raises after Chrono Trigger stories, he'd be 40 by Radical Dreamers. Yeah, you can be 40 and look 30. I get that a lot, so. These buggers are probably rabid. The growling increases, now a constant rumble circling all around us. Their yellow eyes shimmer like jack-o'-lanterns, while saliva drips from their snarling jaws. The middle one's stomach gurgles as its eyes widen, fixed directly on me. Looks like we ain't getting out of this without a fight. What will you do? I'm going to attack. I slash viciously at a nearby cat. Startled, it leaps back with incredible reflexes. I stay my ground, not getting any closer to the beast. Hearing a howl, I know I've hit my mark. Licking its wounds, the animal recovers after a moment of pain. Raising my knife, waiting for my next chance to attack. Surge, behind you. I turn around and see that I'm face to face with a pair of those ravenous yellow eyes. I'm going to attack again here. Oh no, there's no time. I duck as the cat lunges and snaps at me. I smell the bloody odor of the cat's breath as it passes overhead. Just as I think it's past me, I feel its back claws dig into my back. Oh no. Scrambling out of the way, I manage to shove my knife upwards, plunging it deep within the animal's belly. The sound of death can be heard as the cat falls to the ground before me, barely moving. Almost delirious, I lose my balance and fall to my knees. Rolling over, I manage to shake off the confusion before any of the other cats can get closer to me. I take a deep breath, try to tighten my grip on my knife, now slippery with sweat. Then out of nowhere, Kid flashes across my field of vision, landing a direct hit onto the cat beside me. The cat screeches in pain as Kid pins it to the ground, stomping and kicking it with all her rage. Within a moment's delay, she boots the animal up underneath its jaw, It moves no more. All of a sudden, the crazed atmosphere gives way to a war cry behind me. I whip around to see Maggle's inferno spell, setting a cat's head ablaze. It jumps up screeching and howling in madness. It runs directly into a tree and knocks itself out cold. Yeah, I feel that. I could see myself running into a tree and knocking myself out cold. I look around to see that only one of the pack hasn't been taken care of yet. As Kid and I start, it closes in on the beast. It bolts, fearing for its life. Well, that was some workout, eh, mate? Kid says, coming toward me as she tends to her arm. I take a deep breath as I look around, trying not to step on too many of the bodies. I found you on PC. For some reason, I was somehow watching an old live stream. Oh, yeah, okay. So that must be it. Yeah, okay. I admit I was a little worried back there, but nothing too serious happened. I tried talking to Magiel despite knowing how he'll react. Are you all right? With an expressionless face, he looks down at me blankly. You need not worry about me. Wow, the affection is just overflowing from that guy. However, I probably shouldn't start complaining now. We've got a long way to go, and we still haven't set foot inside Viper Manor yet. Kid glances over at me, seemingly eager as ever, ready to tackle what's next. You gonna hang around all night, mate, or get moving? No way, let's go. Hey, come here. Trying to ignore my aches and pains, I head over towards Kid. Good job back there, mate. She comes closer. I can see the reflection of the moon in her eyes as she gives me a warm, comforting smile. But come on, we can't just stand around all night. There's treasure waiting to be found. I'm lost in her eyes as she starts to set off. Maggle continues behind her without a hitch. I hurry to catch up behind the two. In a place like this, getting separated would be a bad idea. We continue to make our way through this natural labyrinth of wood and rock. Somewhere quietly waiting within this huge forest, Viper Manor beckons us. Deep within lies the treasure we've come for. Lord Lynx, as he's formerly known, is an aristocrat who governs the Regionia Outlands. From the way Kid talks, he's apparently an old adversary of hers. Tonight our goal is Lord Lynx's most prized possession, the scarlet jewel known as the Frozen Flame. Besides being priceless, some say this beautiful stone harbors some sort of mystical power. They say many people have sought after the flame, but none have been victorious in stealing it. Viper Manor has claimed many lives. But we will succeed. We pride ourselves on making the impossible possible. Besides, the way Kid talks about Lynx sometimes, it sounds like she's got an awfully personal vendetta against him. We can't lose. I've come too far to lose. I couldn't hear him on the previous stream, but I can hear him now here. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with the first stream. Like I said, I'm going to go back in and I'll add my voice in retrospectively. I'll just kind of narrate it because I don't want it to just go to waste. But it is annoying that stopped working right after I started playing games. I don't know why I did that, so... I mean, I like legit spent 40 minutes playing some game. Like I spent 40 minutes playing like 3 games and like just talking and nobody could hear anything I was saying, which is super frustrating. Anywho, and so after having spent countless hours crossing this dreary, lonesome forest, the silhouette of a towering mansion finally comes through the trees. There it is. I really wish they put Magus in Chrono Cross. That's an incredible waste that they didn't do that. Although maybe Guile is Magus. Who knows? We made it, Kid shouts. Your days are numbered, Lynx. We quickly make our move quietly dashing out from behind a thicket. Once at the mansion wall, excuse me, we creep stealthily along the perimeter, searching for an entry point. After a short while, we come upon a terrace near a garden, which looks relatively inviting. It doesn't look like there are any guards on patrol. Still, the mansion gives off a strange, morbid feeling. It's as quiet as death. Magiel gazes up at the towering fortress. We can enter into the west wing from here. There's no need to look elsewhere. Okay, let's go, Kid says, jumping over the terrace handrail. Halt, shouts Magus from behind, staring at Kid. Our goal is the frozen flame, not vengeance on Lord Lynx. Remember this, Kid. Aye, no problem, she says, glancing over her shoulder. Ain't gonna be nothing to it. Like taking candy from a baby. We'll be out of here before that slimy rat knows what hit him. Yeah, low down, good-for-nothing bastard. I'll make you pay. There she goes again. Come on, I'm getting tired of waiting around, she yells before bolting into the mansion. Magus shakes his head in silence as they chase after Kid, already deep inside. The darkness engulfs me. Okay. Sorry, I had to yawn there. Passage extends right and left. Wherever we turn, darkness awaits. Let's go right. As though we're inside a gigantic snake, the passageway twists and turns, stretching deeper and deeper into the mansion. We now stand in almost complete and utter darkness. Just a trace of moonlight manages to illuminate the path. I stop for a moment and realize it's completely silent. I feel as though we're being watched silently by every single being in this dreadful house. Taking a deep breath, I move on. I set my foot down slyly, with the stealth of a cat, yet valiantly composed. Kid follows behind in stride, drifting in and out of the shadows. The macabre figure of Magiel appears from behind. I did play Sonic. Actually, I played Sonic on the first stream. I played the Sonic on the Neo Geo Pocket. And so, like I said, I'll go back in and add a voiceover to the gameplay. I beat like a couple levels on it, and it's pretty fun. That's a really good Sonic game. And I would argue it's probably the best handheld Sonic game. Okay, so the Weaver of Fate has by now taken notice of us, cradling us in her arms. I'm just grabbing a quick drink because playing a visual novel, requires me to use my voice a lot. Okay. Doobie-doobie-doo. Just ahead of me, I bump into Kid, who's come to a complete stop. Something's wrong, mate. I stop my breath, trying to listen for anything. Then, out of the darkness, clunk, clunk, clunk. Something's ahead of us on the path. Whatever it is, it's coming for us. I nervously sheath my knife. I nervously unsheath my knife, trying to ignore my anxiety from the inevitable confrontation, now only moments away. It's a skeleton. Quick, what do we do? Look for a weak spot. I'm going to look for a weak spot. Skeleton takes a step forward with a sword in hand. Just as Magel begins to move in on it, it raises its arms overhead. With a strange look in its eyes, Magel suddenly stops dead in his tracks. Magel, snap out of it, I shout. His eyes are totally glazed over, completely unaware of the situation. What am I going to do? I'm going to attack. I bolt toward the gruesome creature. Avoiding a deadly slash by its rusty sword, I aim a kick for the skeleton's midsection. And with that, the skeleton breaks in two, toppling down to the ground as I carefully back away. The skull hits the ground and it shatters into countless pieces. What was up with you back there? Kid shouts at Magel, her eyes firmly planted on him. Snap out of it already. Magel blinks a few times, dazed. He seems to be all right now. Phew. You okay, mate? Yeah, I'm not bad. I've got some bruises here and there, but nothing too serious. You? You kidding? I kicked that thing's ass so bad, it didn't even have time to say its prayers. Yeah, we did pretty good back there, didn't we? You got a thing or two to learn, but you're getting there, mate. Kid's mischievous eyes sparkle as I glance at her for a moment in the dim moonlight. I set off down the corridor with her ready for what's next. All right. We make our way down the dimly lit passageway. After a few moments, we come to an odd, dusty door on the right. Kid quietly presses her ear against the door. Quiet as a church mouse. No one's there, mate. Open the door. Keep going down the hallway. Head back towards the terrace. Let's open the door. What's with all this junk? Must be a storeroom or something. It seems like this is the inner mechanics of a clock tower. However, the gears look old and rusted, and the cogs are spinning randomly without connecting up with proper teeth. I doubt the clock's still in use today. The room seems to be currently used as a storage area. A large object catches my attention off in a far corner of the room. It's too dark to see what it is, though. Don't touch anything out of the ordinary, Magel abruptly says, sending a sudden shock down my spine. However, just as he says this, I see Kid emerging from the shadows, dragging the large object into the middle of the room. It's a large antique sword of some kind. We've got no use for that old thing, Kid. All it'll do is slow us down. Besides, we probably wouldn't even get much money for it. I reckon it's worth a lot to the right buyer, like an antique collector or somebody. Skulking, Kid lays the sword down. What do you want? I look around, startled. There was definitely not any of our voices. Kid and Magel immediately take position, focusing their attention toward the source of the voice. Who's there? A figure suddenly appears out of the darkness. It seems to be an old, short woman with a large hood over her head. Although fully covered, it's obviously quite odd. It's some old hag, Kid says. Magel's sharp gaze on the woman remains unchanged, however. Heh heh. What an energetic young lady. You haven't come here this late in the evening to drop in on some friends, I'd imagine. I glance at Kid. Perhaps you have some score to settle with Master Lynx. My heart jumps. This is definitely not good. She will warn the rest of them about us. You know what? Screw it. I'm telling the truth. Kid's eyes narrow. If we did have some score to settle with that bastard, what is it to you? Heh, just as I expected. The old woman cackles in amusement. Children, they're always so interesting like that. So imaginative, yet so predictable. What are you talking about, old lady? Oh, it's Kid's theme. This is a really pretty theme. It's called The Girl Who Stole the Stars or something like that. It's already been 4 or 5 years, I would gather, according to what I was told. One night, a young thief came into the manor looking for trouble. The thief was a little girl about 10 years old. Surprised, I glanced at Kid. There's a trace of an ice-like radiance in her eyes. Staring at her makes me feel like it's suddenly dropped below freezing in here. Unfazed, the old woman continues her story. The girl was an orphan. She set off to face Master Lynx all alone, hoping to avenge the girl who had cared for her like a big sister. But after all, she was all alone. Outnumbered and overpowered, she was eventually defeated and captured by Master Lynx's henchmen. As an ally, Master Lynx can be quite an asset. However, as an enemy, he's one of the most fearsome men alive. If not for a friend who sneaked in and stealthily rescued her, she would have surely perished. From what I've heard, this mysterious figure could allegedly slip in and out of the shadows, was the subject of many whispers throughout the manor long after the incident had come to pass. Not moving a muscle, I look for Magill, nowhere to be seen. I can guess he's spotting one of those trademark expressionless faces somewhere off in the darkness. The inhabitants of Viper Manor don't condemn the unfortunate because no one can win all the time. However, from time to time, the goddess of fate has been known to cast down those who have too much good luck, throwing the cogs of time out of order. It's not wise to try and stand against fate, continuing to repeat one's mistakes time and time again. The old woman continues staring straight at Kid, smiling sweetly. If you want to steal the jewel, and if you really want to beat him, you too must give up your most valued possession, Kid. As long as you cling to it, the hands of your clock will never budge. They'll stay frozen, trapped in the distant past. Who the bloody hell is this old hag? Me? Oh, just an old lady. Pay me no mind. Thank you for listening to this old maid for such a long time. I certainly hope I haven't delayed you at all, but before you leave, which one of you... With that, the other woman looks in my direction. Ah, yes. You look like you've got a bit of a scrape there. Won't you let me have a look at it? What should I do? I don't know whether to be petrified or comforted by all this. You know what? Let's just have her take a look at it. The old woman clasps her hands together. Bowing her head, she mumbles a few words in a low tone. Suddenly, a gentle, pale light surrounds my body, filling me with a strange warmth. Wow, look at that. My wounds are being healed before my eyes. It feels as though there's some sort of magic soft music, Michael Bolton possibly, being played all around me, putting me into a strange serenity. My job is going well, John. Thank you for asking. When I come around, the woman is gone. Hello, lady, says Kid, relentlessly looking around. However, there's no trace of her. All signs of her presence are gone. Wonder what was up with that old hag. Looking around, I can't help but wonder what was she talking about with all that talk about a prized possession and everything. Let's get our arse out of here. This place is giving me the creeps. Well, yeah, that's kind of the idea. Says Kid all of a sudden, already heading for the door. Hey, wait up. As I catch up with Kid, she gives me a friendly poke in the ribs. Humph, ain't no fair. You were the only one who got healed. From here, the passageway stretches right and left. The right path continues into the mansion, while the left into the terrace. Let's proceed to the right. Proceeding on the path ahead, we come to a staircase going up and a firm-looking set of doors on the left. There better be treasure here. The smell of gold's thick in the air, mate. Well, I don't see why not. Let's go inside. Just as I thought. Locked, Kid says after jiggling the handle. Frustrated, she kicks the door. It might slow us down, but sure as bloody hell won't keep us out. Well, unless we find the key. There's nothing we can do, Kid. Let's get to it then. I bet Lynx has got it stashed up in his room somewhere, the bastard. Unable to do anything, we leave to look elsewhere, proceed ahead on the stairs, or go back to the terrace. Let's go on the stairs. Ooh, look at that full motion video on the Saddle View Super Nintendo. With Kid in the lead, we ascend the narrow staircase, or should I say Super Famicom. The cracked stone stairs seem to endlessly twist upward. Feels like we're heading up to a scaffold to be executed. Atop the staircase, an old but solid door waits for us. Silently, this damp place fills me with a feeling of dread. There's a faint voice coming from the other side of the door, says Kid. I fear the worst. Maybe we should check somewhere else, I say. What's the matter, you chicken? She says while glancing at me. But I can tell by the sound of her voice that she isn't feeling much better about this than I am. There's something wrong about this place and we all know it. But you know what? Let's open the door anyway. It's a small room. You'll find a stone tower. It's empty. I can't find a single window in it. What the hell kind of room is this? Although she's trying to hide it, I notice a shiver running down Kid's spine. There may be something of use here. Let's search closely, Maggle says quietly. You really think we'll find something? Kid proceeds to the middle of the room. I examine the walls and the floor. The stone floor is filled with countless scratches covered by splotches of dry dark ink. Hey, Maggle, could you come over here, please? Something is carved into the wall here. I think it's an inscription of some sort. Maggle kneels down in front of the wall and examines the writing. Looking at it closer, it appears to be written in blood. Indeed, this text has been worn down with age. Most of it is unreadable. Here's what I can make out. Won't last much longer. Acacia Dragoons need enchiladas. Sword order of proof. Yeah, they need some enchiladas. Without any warning, the door slams shut. Oh, that's fantastic. Taking us by surprise. Then suddenly a low rumbling starts to fill the room. What's happening? Kid shouts, looking around frantically. What's that above us? Oh, great. What now? There's no time to lose. Try to stop the ceiling, break through the wall. Try to ram the door. Kid flits like an arrow ramming against the door. Her small body bounces back. The door's far too heavy. Bollocks. Maggot strikes across the room like a hurricane against the solid oak. The door creaks but holds tight. My turn. I ram into the door with all my strength. Arg. That heavy shot shoots through my body, but the door doesn't budge an inch. The rumbling continues to get louder and louder, reminding us the rusty blades, eager to greet us. Serge, Maggle, come on, together. The three of us start to ram against the door, simultaneously with all of our strength. The door hinge gives. We stumble outside, barely escaping certain death. Behind us, we hear the gut-wrenching sounds of blades meeting the stone floor. I watched the morbid scene in a daze, gasping huge breaths of air. Finally, the grinding sound fades away. It seems the ceiling is stopped. Damn that Lynx, toying with us like that. So this is the torture chamber. I wonder how many of the Acacia Dragoons it claimed, Maggle whispers. Who? I ask. The Acacia Dragoons. They were once an elite force serving General Viper, a powerful man who used to rule the western territory of Gersbuel. They were defeated more than 10 years ago by the very hands of Lord Lynx. By the looks of things, we have apparently found their resting place. Who cares, says Kid. She stands up. Generals and knights and everything. Sounds like some sort of odd bedtime story. Maggle shrugs his shoulders in silence. as we start down the stairs, eager to get away from this awful place. All right. We'll do let's do like another scene or two, and then we'll probably call it because we're knocking at 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. With Kid leading the way, we descend the stairs. At the bottom of the staircase, a quite sturdy-looking door stands right. The middle of the hallway continues ahead, which takes us back toward the terrace. Open the door, proceed to the terrace. Turn around. Let's go to the terrace. After a little while, we come to a door on the left. Terrace lies ahead. Open the door, proceed toward the terrace. Go back. Let's keep going to the terrace. I think that's just the clock room. All of a sudden, a chilly wind blows past me. Not only that, but also thick fog has started to accumulate all around us. We're in trouble. It swirls around us faster and faster. After a few moments, it coagulates before me, forming into some sort of humanoid shape. It's a poltergeist. Don't move. Kid whispering does nothing but add to my increasing feelings of fear and dread. How are we supposed to fight something that doesn't even have a body? From beside me, a low voice starts to echo through the dim hallway. It's Mago. He seems to be starting some sort of incantation. What am I going to do in the meantime? Hide behind Mago, hope to scare it off by unsheathing my knife. I'm going to try to scare it off by unsheathing my knife. I search for my knife, trying to put on a game face with my weapon extended out in front of me. I focus my attention at the tip of the handle. The tip of the blade. Suddenly, an icy chill blows through me. The temperature seems to be dropping at an alarming rate. Cold. I start to shiver more and more, realizing my body isn't doing me a bit of good against this thing's magic. So cold. It feels as though I could tip over and shatter into 1,000 pieces. Serge, come on, mate. Snap out of it. The sound of Kid's voice pierces into my conscience like a hot knife through butter. However, I quickly start to lose it again. She turns to my side and I start to tumble over. With my last few bits of energy, I open my eyes and see Maggie let loose some sort of spell, streaking toward the poltergeist. Okay, here we go. Hey, Serge, still with us? I hear as I realize someone's slapping me over and over. Kid, I shout, groggily getting up. Serge, I thought being under for that long and all. Wow, she seems concerned, almost distraught. How long was I under? But hey, no loss. Hey, look back. Hey, you're back, as good as new. Well, I don't know if I'd say that, but I really think I'm starting to get the hang of this whole fighting thing. I barely heard it all. You got a thing or two to learn, but you're getting there, mate. Kid's mischievous eyes sparkle as I glance at her for a moment in the dim moonlight. I set off to the corridor with her, ready for what's next. After a short while, the terrace comes into view on the left. The cool evening air trickles in through the doorway. I'm going to go through the hallway. After a while, we split paths into 3 directions. Left is a descending staircase, while the path right extends into darkness. Another passageway lies ahead. Why don't we... Let's just go on ahead. We continue through the other passageway. After a while, we arrive at a beautifully corridored set of double doors. Let's try to enter. We can get in this one here. Well, thank you for liking the streams, John. I appreciate it. This appears to be Viper Manor's ballroom. Beautiful decorative ornaments rest on a large table in the center of this huge hall. Rows of huge pillars are aligned. Up on both sides adorned with sculptures of birds and various animals. As far as the room, at the end of the room, sits a gigantic organ taking up the entirety of the wall. Its pitch black orb beckons us. Countless numbers of small candles provide a soft, flickering luminescence to the room. Everything around us shimmers in dim candlelight. Various portraits have been hung on the walls depicting all sorts of well-dressed people. I can gather their high-quality oil paintings. They all have a similar sort of morbid gaze in their eyes. Though, who could these be? Lynx's relatives, maybe? Of these portraits, a young lady in a pink dress catches my eye. Wait, what was that? I swear she looked at me just then. Come on, Serge. Time to put away the ghost stories. It's just my imagination acting up again, I tell myself. It was probably a trick of the light caused by flickering candles or something. The oil's glossy finish distorted the image for a second or two. Yeah, that's what happened. But I don't know. This room is bloody strange. Kid sees it too. She has to have seen it. I suggest we look elsewhere, Magel says suddenly. I offer no objections. And with that note, we're going to save here. And I think we're going to wrap up the stream with that. Hey, White Tiger, I'm actually just wrapping up the stream. So thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate your time and friendship. Sorry for all of the kind of microphone mishaps. Like I said, I will go in and I'll add some narration to the gameplay parts of the first section of the stream. But good times, good times. Tiger, how the heck are you? I'm glad you stopped by to say hi. Yeah, so I'm going to hit the hay. Arrow, thank you, my friend, for stopping by and helping me get the microphone all set up. Please don't be a stranger. I am hoping to stream tomorrow, although WWE Backlash may throw a little bit of a snag in that, but we'll see. But good times, good times. Hopefully you enjoyed this style of stream. I will still obviously do the game room streams, but I do want to have this option set up just because, you know, I got some good ROMs on the phone, and it's a new phone and all that good stuff. And this is, you know, also a cool way to stream. So good times, good times. Well, there you have it, people. Actually, I think playing visual novels on the phone and streaming like this actually works pretty well. So we'll play some more Radical Dreamers. We'll play some more Metal Slater Glory. I really do want to beat the Super Nintendo Metal Slater Glory. I do want to beat Cosmic Fantasy 2 on the Switch as well. So we'll get all this done. And until next time, guys, my name is Noel. You take care, and I will see you in the very near future for more live streaming fun and excitement on the Noel ComiX YouTube channel. Take care. Thanks for your friendship. See you soon, and bye-bye.